You're traveling through the unknown, a journey beyond the corners of reality, where the shadows whisper and the chill runs deep. Welcome to the dimension where your deepest fears are given form. This is the Midnight Mystery.
Welcome to the Midnight Mystery. Today's episode is called, I Came Face to Face with a Titan. In each episode, we delve into the shadowed corners of our existence, bringing you tales of the eerie, the uncanny, and the downright terrifying. From the realms of the supernatural to the depths of the human psyche, no stone is left unturned, no dark secret left hidden. As the clock once again draws near midnight, prepare to embark on another adventure into the uncanny, the eerie, the horrifying, the Midnight Mystery.
My name is Billy, and I was part of a brave team of explorers who embarked on an extraordinary journey. We landed on an enigmatic island, a place shrouded in mystery and legends. Our hearts brimmed with excitement and curiosity as we stepped onto its shores, ready to unveil its ancient secrets. "Hey Billy," my friend Sarah called out, her eyes sparkling with adventure. "Can you believe we're finally here? Just think of the enormous creatures that once called this place home." I smiled, feeling the thrill. "It's amazing, Sarah. Let's see what stories these lands have to share." As we ventured deeper into the island, a magnificent and eerie sight unfolded before our eyes. Huge bones lay scattered around, monumental relics of the titanic beasts that had once roamed these lands. "Look at the size of these bones," exclaimed Tom, another member of our team. "These creatures must have been gigantic, like nothing we've ever seen before." Our team carefully examined the bones, trying to stitch together the tales they held. We could almost see the mighty creatures, their enormous bodies moving through the forest as masters of an ancient world. We set up camp near a clearing, and as the night began to fall, we gathered around the fire. The flickering flames danced as we shared stories of what the ancient creatures might have been like, our voices mingling with the soft rustling of the trees. "So what do you think happened to them?" Lucy, our team's historian, asked with a thoughtful expression. "I'm not sure," I replied, "but this island is full of mysteries. There's something about it that feels alive." As night enveloped the island, strange noises began to resonate through the dark forest. The wind seemed to whisper the hidden tales of the island, carrying echoes of gigantic footsteps, of breaths that rustled the leaves. "Did you guys hear that?" asked Sarah, her voice tinged with unease. "It sounds like something is moving out there." Tom laughed lightly. "Oh, come on. It's just the wind and the wild animals of the island. There's nothing to worry about." But somehow, the darkness felt thick with secrets, and as we tried to sleep, a restless feeling lingered in the air. The legends spoke of enormous creatures, and as the night grew deeper, an unsettling thought crossed our minds. What if not all titans were merely bones and stories? Our night was filled with strange sounds and the unsettling feeling of being watched. We huddled closer, whispering, trying to make sense of the island's mysterious aura. "Let's stay alert," I suggested. "We don't know what surprises this island might have in store." And so, we stayed, embraced by the island's mysterious shadows, feeling the weight of its untold stories, and waiting for the dawn to unveil the truths hidden in the heart of this enigmatic land. Little did we know, the island was keeping a terrifying secret, a living legend that would soon turn our adventure into a frightening tale of survival. That night, our world was swallowed by shadows that seemed to carry a life of their own. We, explorers, filled with a spirit of adventure, set up our camp as a haven amidst the mysteries that seemed to breathe through the island's thick trees and vines. "All right, team," Tom announced, kindling a fire that fought back the darkness with flickers of light. "Let's gather around. Tonight we share tales of the titans that might have walked these very grounds." And so, we did. Our eyes shimmered in the firelight as our words painted images of mighty, enormous creatures, their footsteps echoing like thunder across the island. With each tale, the air grew thicker with wonder and the ancient echoes of the island's legendary inhabitants. But as the hours passed, another tale began to write itself. A tale not of the past, but of the present. The island seemed to stir, its silence replaced by strange noises that slithered through the darkness. "Did you hear that?" Lucy whispered, her eyes searching the shadows. "It sounds like rustling leaves, but heavier, bigger." I nodded, feeling the hairs on my arms rise. "It's probably just some nocturnal animals," I tried to reassure her, but my words seemed to vanish into the night, stolen by the unsettling atmosphere. We huddled closer around the fire, but its warmth struggled against the chill of uncertainty that blew with the wind. The noises grew, turning into echoes of heavy footsteps, an enormous presence that seemed to loom over us. Sarah looked around, gripping her blanket tighter. "It's like the island is telling us something, warning us." "Do you feel it?" "I do," I admitted. "It's as if the legends are not just stories but whispers of what's still here." Tom, usually the skeptic, glanced into the darkness, his casual demeanor replaced by a flicker of concern. "Let's not jump to conclusions. It's an unknown place. Strange noises are expected." But as the night grew older, so did the intensity of our feelings of unease. We found ourselves caught in a symphony of whispers, where the wind seemed to carry tales of a living, breathing presence, something enormous still dwelling in the remotest corners of the island. I could feel it, a heartbeat, a rhythm of something powerful, a shadowy titan lurking within the veils of darkness. "We should stay alert," I suggested. "Keep the fire burning and watch each other's backs." We spent the night in a restless vigil, our senses alert to every sound, every movement that stirred the night. Our minds battled between reason and the unsettling feeling that something extraordinary was hidden on this island, something that was still very much alive. As the night gave way to the dawn, a veil seemed to lift, but the questions and uncertainties remained, woven into the very air we breathed. We were explorers, seekers of the unknown, but that night, the unknown had stared back at us, leaving us with whispers of a mystery far more profound and terrifying than we had ever imagined. And so, with the first light of dawn, we found ourselves on the threshold of a day filled with the promise of discoveries, but also shadowed by the night's unsettling echoes. Echoes that hinted at legends walking amidst the living, waiting to unveil their hidden tales. That day the island revealed a terrifying secret to us, turning our journey of discovery into a nightmare. The legends were not just old tales, they were shadows of a horrifying truth. A living titan, a mighty beast from the ancient stories, still roamed the island, hidden within its dense, dark forests. "Guys," Sarah's voice trembled as she pointed towards the trees, where enormous shadows moved mysteriously. "There's something there. It's big." Fear clutched our hearts, turning the world around us into a sinister theater of shadows and whispers. It didn't take long for the massive creature, the living legend itself, to step out of the shadows and unveil its terrifying presence. "We need to run," Tom shouted, as the mighty titan revealed itself, its eyes glowing with a savage presence as it looked at us, the intruders of its ancient realm. Chaos broke as we ran, our breaths ragged, our hearts pounded in terror. The forest turned into a maze of fear, with the massive beast chasing us, its footsteps shaking the ground, echoing like thunder through the night. "Stay together," I yelled, trying to keep everyone in sight as we navigated through the dense woods. The titan was relentless, its powerful presence a constant terror that haunted our steps. "Billy, over here!" Lucy screamed, finding a temporary refuge behind a massive tree trunk. We gathered, panting, our eyes widened with the horror of our close encounter with the beast. The night was a terrifying arena, a battleground where we, explorers with dreams of discovery, now fought for survival against the wrath of a living legend. Each moment was a terrifying game, a desperate attempt to evade the mighty titan's pursuit. "What do we do now?" Sarah asked, her voice shaking. "It's real. The legend is real and it's hunting us. We need to be smart and careful," Tom said, trying to collect his thoughts amidst the chaos. "We've survived so far. We can escape this nightmare." The dark hours were filled with the titan's relentless hunts. It was a massive, powerful beast, its eyes burning with the fires of ancient tales, and its roars reverberating through the haunted lands of the island. Our team, once filled with excitement and curiosity, now moved with caution and fear, each step shadowed by the terrifying presence of the beast. We held on to each other, our unity a small beacon of hope in the heart of this horrifying reality. "We need to find a safe place," I said, "somewhere we can hide until daylight. The night is its domain, but we have our wits and our teamwork." So the night turned into a labyrinth of terror. We used our knowledge, our instincts, and the desperate courage that blooms in survival's grim moments. We were explorers caught in a tale of terror, chased by a creature that had slipped through time's cracks to haunt the present. The beast's roars, its enormous shadows, and its savage eyes became the terrifying landscapes of our night. We moved, we hid, we fought with every breath, every heartbeat, holding on to the hope that dawn would bring a chance, a path away from the nightmare's cruel jaws. And in the heart of this dark chapter, we found strength in each other, a determination to survive the night's terrors and live to see the morning's light, hoping that it would bring an end to the horrifying chase of the mighty Titan. In the shadows of terror, where the enormous Titan ruled, we, explorers, decided not to surrender to fear. Our hearts were beaten by horror, but within us, a fierce spirit of survival ignited. We weren't just prey, we were fighters, souls ignited with the determination to live, to escape the nightmare that the island had become. "Listen," I said, gathering our shaken team around the dying embers of a fire. "We have our brains, our skills in each other. We're not going down without giving it everything we've got." Nods of agreement, glimmers of courage shone in the eyes of my friends. We were a team, and together we began to craft our resistance against the monstrous Titan. Plans were forged in the crucibles of our desperation, strategies woven with threads of every trick we knew. "We need to be clever," Tom said, his voice firm. "Use the environment, set traps, find places where we can hide from its sight." The days turned into arenas of survival, where every sunrise brought the haunting shadows of the chase, and every sunset bore the weight of our continued existence. We moved through the island's dense maze, setting traps with whatever we could find, turning nature itself into an ally in our desperate struggle. Our journey became a chess game, a challenge where we matched our wits against the terrifying hunts of the creature. We relied on teamwork, each of us bringing our own strengths to the battle. Our knowledge, our creativity, our courage became weapons in our survival's arsenal. "It's close," Sarah whispered on one fateful day. Her eyes widened in terror as the ground trembled with the Titan's approaching steps. "Quick," Lucy urged. "Into the caves! It's our best shot at hiding from it." Our breaths echoed in the tight space of the caves, our hearts beating in a rhythm of fear as the Titan's roars filled the world outside. We held our breaths, praying for the shadows to protect us, for our plans to work, for another chance at life. "Stay quiet, stay strong," I whispered, feeling the pressure of the moment, the weight of our lives hanging by a thread. The battles were harsh, filled with close calls and moments where death's shadows loomed dangerously close. But our spirits weren't easily broken. With each day, our determination grew, fed by the desire to survive, to escape the horror that haunted the island. Each night we gathered, licking our wounds, sharing our fears, but also stoking the flames of hope. Our stories became tales of resistance, of the mind's power, and the strength that blooms in the heart of adversity. "We're still here," Tom said one night, his voice carrying a tone of victory. "We've fought, and we're still alive. We have hope, and as long as we have that, we can make it." Our journey was marked by the scars of the chase, by the haunting presence of the Titan's terror, but it was also painted with our courage, our wit, and the powerful tapestry of our teamwork. We were in the heart of darkness, but we carried the torches of resistance, determined to carve a path of survival through the nightmare's cruel shadows. Darkness hung heavily over the island, a cloak woven with terror and the relentless pursuit of the mighty beast. In the midst of horror, our minds, sharp with the urgency of survival, began to craft an escape. Whispers of a plan flickered like faint flames, mapping a way out of the monstrous Titan's dominion. "We need to find a place, somewhere less traveled by that beast," Tom said, his voice low but edged with the sharpness of determination. A section of the island revealed itself, a corner less haunted by the Titan's terrifying presence. It was there that our plan began to take root, amidst the eerie silence and the dense watching trees. Hands, toughened by the trials of survival, began to build a raft. Pieces of wood, vines, and every available resource were transformed, slowly taking the shape of our escape vessel. Every stroke, every nail, was driven by a single, burning purpose: to leave the terror-stricken island behind, to escape the horrifying grip of the ancient Titan. Night and day blended, marked only by the relentless cycle of our work and the constant shadow of fear. The creature, as if sensing our determination, intensified its attacks. Its roars grew fiercer, its moves more cunning, echoing the dreadful reality of its mighty existence throughout the island's haunted landscapes. The air thickened with a heightened sense of urgency, our senses always alert, always waiting for the beast's terrifying approach. Every noise became a herald of horror. Every shadow carried the threat of the Titan's wrath. In the cruel theater of survival, we became figures moved by a primal force, focusing solely on our escape. The raft slowly became a symbol, a vessel of our desperation to break free from the island's suffocating grip of terror. The world around us was a stage of eerie silences broken by sudden outbursts of horror. The days were marred by the beast's proximity, its formidable presence a constant reminder of the nightmarish reality we found ourselves in. Our hands moved tirelessly. The raft began to take shape, embodying our resistance against the merciless tides of fear. In the shadows of terror, it became a beacon, a silent promise of a passage away from the monstrous hunts and the haunted echoes of the island. Every moment was a fierce battle against time, against the looming shadows of the creature's wrath. Our minds and bodies were tuned to a single frequency: survival. A grim symphony played on, resonating with the urgency of escape, the harsh rhythms of a desperate struggle against the horrifying saga of the Titan's reign. With each passing day, the raft became more robust, our plan more coherent, forged in the unforgiving fires of the ordeal. The island watched, its mysterious eyes filled with the unfolding drama of our resistance, our unyielding quest for a way out of its terror-infused realms. The harsh winds carried tales of our persistent battle, of a reality marked by the dark presence of the beast, and the unfolding saga of our desperate, unwavering attempt to escape its horrifying shadows. We had done it. Our battered bodies and strained muscles found solace as we pushed the raft into the murky waters, every ounce of our remaining strength geared towards distancing ourselves from the ominous shadows of the island. The deadly tango with the Titan, the harrowing echoes of its roars, the suffocating grip of terror. It all began to fade as the raft bobbed away, forging a path through the relentless sea. Our eyes, weary but alert, watched as the cursed island became a diminishing silhouette against the ghostly moonlight. But as we drifted further, a bone-chilling realization crept into our consciousness. The seas began to thrash violently, and the sky turned a deeper shade of menace, an ominous symphony playing in the theater of our escape. Our eyes widened, and our hearts sank with a newfound horror unveiling before us. It wasn't over. The island, the very ground where we had waged our battles of survival, where horror had danced in the shadows of the Titan, began to shudder, to come alive. In a dark revelation, the true nature of the Titan unveiled itself. The island itself was a monstrous entity, a colossal beast that had veiled itself in the guise of land. We were not merely escaping a creature. We had enraged a Titan of terrifying magnitude. The waters around the island began to swirl with fury, a whirlpool of terror forming, lashing out its monstrous arms towards our feeble raft. No. Tom's voice was barely a whisper, his face pale with the horror of our newfound plight. The world around us became a torrent of chaos, the seas roaring with a fearsome power, embodying the wrath of the awakened Titan. The whirlpool yawned wider, a monstrous mouth ready to swallow all traces of our existence, to bury our tails in the cold, merciless depths of the sea. We struggled, our bodies fighting against the overpowering pull, our raft becoming a helpless toy in the fierce embrace of the Titan's wrath. Our breaths became gasps of desperation, our movements fueled by the raw instincts of survival. But the island beast was relentless, its powerful grip pulling us closer into the abyss of its fury. The raft creaked and groaned, the seas whipped in a violent dance, and the sky mirrored the darkness of our ordeal. In the last moments, as the icy waters began to claim us, the island loomed like a terrifying ghost, its true form a haunting image in the heart of darkness. The unforgiving whirlpool became our grave. The depths of the sea turned into a crypt for our lost tales. And so, we were swallowed, devoured by the monstrous Titan that had hidden beneath the shadows and the rugged landscapes of the cursed island. Our struggles, our survival, our desperate escape, all were lost in the tumultuous embrace of the sea's cold arms. Left behind were the echoes, the haunted residues of our existence, of a horror tale etched in the merciless chapters of survival against the shadows of hidden Titans. In the darkened pages of the island's cursed saga, our tales dissolved, leaving nothing but the silence of an eerie mystery.
I hope you enjoyed our episode. I'd like to extend a heartfelt thanks to you, our brave listeners. Your presence in this shared journey into the unknown is what fuels our stories. Your fascination is our motivation. Did this episode send chills down your spine? Then leave your comments, your thoughts and theories, your own midnight mysteries. Your feedback is the beacon that guides us through the uncharted territories of our stories. And if you haven't already, remember to subscribe to our channel. By joining the Midnight Mystery family, you won't miss out on a single chilling tale. As a subscriber, you'll be the first to know when a new episode lurks around the corner. ready to pull you back into the shadowy depths of the unknown. This is the Midnight Mystery signing off, leaving you with a simple reminder. When the clock strikes 12, fear the silence, for that's when our tales come to life. Good night, Midnight listeners. And remember, not all who wander into the dark are lost.